Hey sixth graders, so today we're going to be taking notes on lesson 3-2, which looks at least common multiple, or LCM. So what is the LCM, or least common multiple? The LCM for a set of two or more numbers is the smallest number that is a multiple of all of the numbers in this set. So the thing I want you to really remember here is that the LCM is the smallest number that is a multiple of all of the numbers in this set. So we're not looking at factors this time like we did yesterday. We're looking at multiples. So I'm going to give you an example, and just like I did with prime factorization and greatest common factor, I'm going to show you two different ways that you can find the LCM of a set of numbers. Okay? So for my first example, we're going to find the LCM of 8 and 10. And as always, if I'm going too fast for you guys, feel free to hit pause on the video so that you can get caught up, and then you can pick up right when you're ready. Okay, so we're going to find the least common multiple of 8 and 10. So for step number 1, I'm going to list the multiples of 8 and 10. Okay, so my multiples are, for 8, we have 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48, 56, 64. I'm just going to stop there. My multiples for 10 are 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. I'm going to stop there. Step number 2, I'm going to look at my list and I'm going to identify the smallest multiple that is in both lists. So if I look back at the list that I created for the multiples of 8 and 10, I can see that the smallest number that appears in both lists is 40. So, my solution? The LCM of 8 and 10 is 40. So I just showed you one method of finding the least common multiple of a set of numbers. Now I'm going to show you another method that you can use to find the least common multiple. So for this time we're going to find the least common multiple of 12 and 30. Okay, so for step number 1, I'm going to list the prime factorization of each number. Okay, so for 12, I'm going to do a factor tree to find my prime factorization. So I know that 3 times 4 equals 12. I know that 3 is prime, so I'm going to circle it. I'm done with this side, but I know that 4 is not prime. And I do know that 2 times 2 equals 4, and that those numbers are prime. Okay, so I'm done here. So for 12, my prime factorization is 2 times 2 times 3. Now I need to do the prime factorization for the number 30. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go 3 times 10. I know that 3 is prime, so I'm going to circle it. I know that 10 is a composite number, so I'm going to keep going here. I know that 2 times 5 is 10. And now I'm done because these two numbers are prime. So my prime factorization for 30, I have 2 times 3 times 5. For step number 2, I need to find the product of the common factors. Find product of common factors. Okay, so again, I'm going to list my prime factorization for 12, which was 2 times 2 times 3. And for 30, it was 2 times 3 times 5. So I'm going to look here and I'm going to look for common factors. Remember, I want to find a match in each of the lists. So looking at my list, I see I can make a match with 2, and I also see that I can make a match with my 3s. So I'm going to find the product of those common factors. I know that 2 times 3 equals 6. For step number 3, I'm going to multiply the product of the common factors which in my case was 6, as we found up here, by the factors that are not common. Okay, this is a really important step here. So I'm going to look back on my list, and I already found the product of the common factors, which was 6. And now I need to go back and multiply it by the factors that are not common. So if I look back at my list up here, I can see that the factors that are not common are my 2 that I wasn't able to find a match for, and 5. So now I need to find the product of these 3 numbers. Well, I know that 6 times 2 is 12, and 12 times 5 is 60. So my solution, the LCM of 12 and 30 is 60. Okay, that's all the notes we're going to take tonight. After you finish writing your notes, please go back to the Canvas page and click the link that says Lesson 3-2 Exit Ticket, and there you'll find your exit ticket for this lesson, and we'll go over the answers tomorrow when you come back to class. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hope you guys have a great night.